some people think the Niners can be elite this year. I think they can, but I feel like 4 or 5 things would have to happen. What are those things? Maybe it's just one in your opinion.
No, it's got to be multiple things. Look, they're a good team, solid team now, but here's some other players. Like I feel like they have some loose ends. You know, it's kind of like they have the shoes on, but they need to get them laces tied up so they can really run. You know, before they actually gain some traction. I think one of those players is going to be the center, Jake Brendel. I mean, we've seen in the past how many times the center position has been so crucial to that team, especially more than any other team. I mean, everyone knows, you know, at this point, if you're a casual football fan, center is pretty much like almost the brains of the offensive line. Yeah. They pretty much kind of like get everyone set, you know, the middle, like the linebacker offensive line. And every time they didn't have someone who was just decent or adequate enough, everything just tumbled. I mean, I know they had the best case scenario where someone actually stepped in and just did decent was, who was his name? Who took
Ben
over? Ben Garland, excuse me.
Ben Garland. He was good. Kilgore was good. Richburg was good. Hronis Grasu was not.
No. Brenskill was not.
And it was crazy real quick. Like in 2020, Garland got hurt, and the Niners were really trying to sell everyone on Grasu. Like, you know, we really like him, even though he's a practice squad guy. He was drafted. He was horrendous, and they had to end up getting him out of there and put Brunskill in there eventually. And I feel like I'm not saying Brendel's going to be the same, but it's the same situation where practice squad guy, anyone could have had this guy. I mean, he wasn't practice squad last year, but he was a couple of years ago. Anyone could have had him. The Niners are the ones being like, we have a diamond in the rough. Forget what everyone else says. He's good. Like, all right, last time I heard this about a no-name center, you were wrong. So hopefully you're right. Brendel's got a lot of pressure on him, but that's one. I think Aaron Banks is two. I mean, at least they say they like Brendel. Like, they didn't say anything like that with Aaron Banks.
They drafted him second round. I guess that means they like him.
Brendel was active last year. Banks was not.
He was injured.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, I mean, he needs to be healthy. If he's healthy and good.
You like him when you draft him second round, kind of? I mean, this guy versus one guy got drafted like a very high draft. I mean, second round pick is a pretty big deal versus a guy who pretty much like you said, anyone could have had him. So he probably thinks like, oh, I was kind of like a last minute cheap signing, whatever. And the only reason why he got signed there is because of Chris Forster. That's what they said.
Right.
So, I mean, you got one player who really needs to get propped up, and especially because it is center for that offense. That's critical. You really need that one to be the most tight grip, the most sure-handed. But yeah, I think those are definitely like 1A, 1B, or even 1 and 2, whatever you want to be it. But Brendel top number 2. I'd say the other player, if we're going to look at it, is your boy Talanoa Hufanga. Just because in case he gets picked on when any sort of capacity, gets beat deep. If he's like short-handed, just short enough coverage. He doesn't have to be anywhere elite, just decent, which I think he's very well capable of being. They're going to have themselves a hell of a defense. They're going to have themselves a hell of a defense already, even with him being, if he is a liability. But I think he just gets to a decent standing, decent footing, and somehow catapult himself to that momentum. My God, that 49ers defense is going to be so disgusting. It's going to be so filthy.
Yeah, I mean, you could always point to Kinlaw, whoever the nickel is, Talanoa. But the defense is always top 5. You know, it could be better, but it's always top 5. It's always the best part of the team. It's always what keeps them in games. For whatever reason, their offense hasn't figured it out in 5 years. I mean, maybe it's the quarterback spot, whatever. But to me, like, the questions are always the offense, the quarterback position. I mean, honestly, if Trey Lance can protect himself, he's got a hell of a trio of receivers. He's got a hell of a running game, a hell of a defense. He could take this team to a whole different level. He could win 12, 13 games as a rookie. Yep. He could be that really successful young quarterback like Roethlisberger was. I mean, he could. Or he could be a total freaking mirage. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people – Emmanuel Osho doesn't think he's going to be good. What do you call him? One-play Trey? Okay, Emmanuel. We didn't forget Emmanuel.
Probably watch like just a highlight reel or something like that. I'm just like, that's all he's got.
Yeah. We got a question from OK319 says, I enjoyed the show, Grant. Thank you. Don't you think this is most likely scenario Watson gets told 1 year Browns want JG contract and Niners get something decent, like 6th round? Way more than a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Maybe. Possibly.
They can't fit his contract on there because they're going to have to cut Baker Mayfield and they're going to eat that $18 million. They're going to eat it. Oof. So the only way you get a Baker Mayfield, the only way you get Jimmy Garoppolo on your books is if you send Baker Mayfield, but no one wants Baker Mayfield because everyone knows he's going to get cut. He's going to get cut.
I just want to see Jimmy Garoppolo and Amari Cooper on the same team for a full season.
Oh,
I really want to see.
Hey, that would work. Amari Cooper is a little bit of a slant god. He works out that way. He's soft going across the middle. He gets drilled pretty
Exactly.
bad.
I saw John Gruden try to use him that way.
Him on this fool get like knocked out. It was crazy.
Remember in Seattle, John Gruden had him running across the middle, got crunched, and they traded him the next week. It's like, what are you doing?
He does it, but he doesn't brace for it. He just like stands there like a tackling dummy.
He's a finesse receiver. Good one. He runs outside the numbers and down the field. You need a guy with an arm like Deshaun Watson. Great fit with Deshaun Watson. Terrible fit with Jimmy Garoppolo. I really hope Jimmy goes to Cleveland from the bottom of my heart.